So, 3/5 of a person. What is it? Now, when we talk about 3/5 of a person, right? They never really broke down what is 3/5. Like what is the 5/5? What's the 5/5? Right? So okay, let's go over it. We got mind, body, soul, land, and your God. Those are the 5 things that I got some of my damn hand, but those are the 5/5, right? Mind, body, soul, land, God. So now, when they said that black people are 3/5 of a person, out of them 5 things, yeah, let's stay saying it on the camera. But out of them 5 things, what 2 can they take away and leave you as 3/5 of a person? What 2? They can't take your mind. They can't take your body. They can't take your soul. But what they can take is they can take your land and they can take your God. So when they took them to the land and the God away, that is what made you 3/5 of a person. Mind, body, and soul, they can't take the mind, body, and soul from you, no matter what they do. So when you look at that when you step back, like when you just turn into Superman and you just step back and look down on the situation, when you take away a person God, you take away a person principles, their morals, you know what I'm saying? You take away what they stand for. And of course, when you take away a person's land, you taking away their wealth. You taking away what they stand on. You taking away their homes. You taking away their wealth. So and to this day, that 3/5 has never been reestablished. Now, why is that? Why is that? Why do we think the way we do? See, when we first came into this world, when you break it down into months, when you look at it from a federal standpoint, from months, it was only on this earth 60 months before you got put into that system, that school system. And a lot of times people blame religion, but I never, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us, I can't speak for no other countries, but here in America, I never recall having any issues with religion. Never. I never had no issues with no religious person. I never had no issues legally with religion. I never got into no arguments with nobody about religion. But school, that school system, see, when you really look at the behavior of our people, it all links back to the school system. It all links back to the school system. That's where they teach you to hate your own people, in the school system, through sports. Playing football, stop him from scoring. Playing basketball, stop him from scoring. Playing baseball, strike him out, stop him from scoring. My team versus his team. That's what the racism is taught. It's a competitive system of beliefs. But see, as so-called black people, we just suffer from racism. We can't actually be racist because even if we were to be racist, there's no gain from it. It ain't no win in the long run. When you being racist, you're being racist to win. And it ain't got nothing with an attitude more so than it does having a plan in the long run. So, but I'm not even gonna really dive into that. The whole racism, because it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. Now, I want to touch on technology, because all this is tied into the whole 3/5 person, the whole racism, all these things. Is because of the technology. Yeah. Think about it. Everybody was, to a certain degree, living a certain type of way until certain technologies came about. And so, I don't know if I dropped the video before. I don't think I dropped the video talking about time traveling. Nah, I didn't. So we're going to cut in and talk about time traveling right here. Cars, planes, trains, boats, bikes, phones, it's all time travel. Actually, like this right here that we're sitting there talking, this right here is a time traveling device. This is a time traveling device. Think about it. I could drop this video and 20 years from now, I'm gonna still be forever young in this video. I'll still be able, this video gonna make it into the future where you're gonna have people from the past looking back on this video. It's a time traveling device. So even if something does happen to me, I'm gonna still be able to be here. Still giving my emotions, still giving my feelings, still letting you see me. You can see me. You can see what I'm doing. You can't necessarily see where I'm at, but it's a print. It's a print. It's evidence of where I'm at. So going back to the technology and its connection to racism and its connection to 3/5 of a person, its connection to the school system. Think, okay, let me stop trying to make it so, trying to make it sound so complicated, more complicated than what it is. Put it this way, okay? The plane was made here in America. Now, it's different stories on who made the plane, and where the plane was made at, right? But we ain't gonna go into that. Let's look at it like this. When a plane was first made, right, you didn't need no license to make a plane. You didn't have to go to school to learn how to fly a plane. When they created planes, they could have took that curriculum and put it into the education system. And instead of making a society where we drive everywhere, this society could have been a flying society where we flew everywhere. I was born in '87. So I grew up watching the Jetsons. I grew up watching the Jetsons and I grew up watching the Flintstones. If when they made the plane, they would have took that, how they made the plane, how to fly planes, and they would have put that in the education system where they was teaching us from the age of 5 years old how to build planes and how to fly planes. Now, granted, a lot of us would have died by the time we got 13 and be out there flying, but this society would have been a flying society. And this the catch-22. The technology would have advanced so far from 1904, 1905 up into 2024. It'd been crazy what type of technology people would be using right now as far as fly. But this the catch-22. See, it's a reason why they did that. Because number one, this society would be like Rick and Morty. Like, okay, I'm gonna set that on the shelf. I'm gonna set that on the shelf, right? But I'm gonna go back. Now, World War II, which I don't really recognize World War II as World War II. I recognize the Revolutionary War as World War One. I recognize the War of 1812 as World War II, and I recognize World War III as the War of 1865. But that's just me looking at it from where I stand. I'm not in Europe, so I guess in Europe, I guess to them that was a World War One and a World War II. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna call it World War II for educational purposes. You feel me? World War II was fought over the aircraft technology and over the fertilizer technology. Yes, fertilizer, cow dookie, saved Europe. That's what they was fighting over. And I'm gonna take it a step further to tell you right now that Russia and Ukraine fighting over the trucking industry. That's a whole nother conversation. Don't get me wrong, they fighting over that land too. But them people who own that land, yeah, they own more than just that land. But I ain't even gonna touch that. I'm gonna leave that where it's at. I'm gonna let them people have that. I ain't even gonna put that on the shelf. I'm gonna put that on the bird leg and let that go ahead and fly away. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna play with them people, man. But World War II was fought over the aircraft technology and fertilizer. You gotta think, and I heard this question before, and this concerning the fertilizer, because you know the fertilizer was used to create the bombs and create the nukes. Don't quote me on it. Look it up for yourself. But why didn't they nuke Europe, Germany, and they nuked Japan? That's because they were experimenting with that bomb. That bomb was an experiment. And realistically, when you really look at history, and what they did in them 2 days with them two bombs, they killed and injured over 400,000 people in 2 days. That might have been, and not even might have been, that was probably the biggest catastrophe, the biggest catastrophe in documented human history. Yeah, that bomb was an experiment. Yeah. Get down on them people, man. And they fought over the aircraft technology. You got to think, at that point, the aircraft was only about 35 years old. You got to think, at one point, because it was at a world peace, right? You had everybody able to get their hands on the information on how to make. Cause think about it, if the plane was made here in America, then how the hell did that information end up in Japan and end up in Germany and end up in Russia and end up in all these different places if it was created here, right? And so now you got all these people fighting over the air. At one point, they was fighting over the water. That's what what was that war? The Spanish Armada and all. That fight was all about. The water, the watercrafts, the boats, and all that stuff. They was taking over the oceans and taking over the parts of taking over certain coasts and taking over certain seas and all that stuff. There was big fights going on over that. And then and I ain't even gonna take it all the way too far down the timeline, because see, you gotta understand, when you go back and you check out my other videos, everything that I'm talking about is connected. Even some of this history that we talking about is all connected, because keep in mind, all this stuff happened today. It's just that the people who participated is no longer here. The places are still here. All the places are still here. All the places are still here. No matter where you go, uh, you can walk down the same street that Dr. King walked down, and he walked down that street today. He's just not here right now. It's just that moment that he walked down, the street is over with. It passed. You wasn't here when it happened, and now he wasn't. Now he not here to witness you walk down the same street. Yeah, but this 3/5 thing is a very powerful thing, man. And even okay, so let's go back to like the aircraft technology. Even with that, and that goes for any technology. Just imagine if they put guns into the education curriculum. Now at this point, if they did it back then, at this point you have people shooting laser guns. It'll be so many different type of crazy weapons right now. It'll be like that one show. Excuse me. I think it was a show. It was a cartoon on Cartoon Network called like Gun or something like that. I can't remember. It was a pretty cool show. These dudes putting out all these big, crazy, different guns and all that stuff. It was wild. We'll be living in that type of society. I'm talking about. Just imagine if they didn't put limits or qualifications in order to have access to the technology. That see now, this existence that we living in right now, has been going on for a long, never-ending time. This is never ending. I got a song called "Never Ending." So just imagine at one point it was a civilization, right, that was so advanced because everybody I should make this into a whole nother video. It was a civilization that was so advanced because they allowed everybody to have access to the technology. So just imagine how America would be if just everybody had unlimited access to every resource and every piece of technology. We talking about Rick and Morty. We talking about Dexter's Laboratory type life. We talk about right now. I'm talking about it'll just be so much. I don't think. See, they wouldn't do that, and I understand why you would have to limit that type of power because it'll be so many wars. and just mind you, it's so many wars going on right now. It's wars. There's so many different type of wars going on right now. But just imagine. I'm talking about real wars will be going on if that was. I'm talking about right now. You have people just flying up high in the sky, just come on, man. See, right now, what the threat is right now. Should I even be talking about this? Should I even be talking about this right now? What I'm about to talk about? Okay, I'm going ahead and talk about it. The biggest threat right now is drones. Drones. The drone technology one of the biggest threats, because the drone can't be controlled. Like, and what I mean by the drone can't be controlled is there's no way to regulate that technology. So just see, it was an experiment. When the drone got put out there, it was an experiment to see what happened, because like I said, it'd be the same thing if people was allowed to just have access to planes and left. But that drone technology made it possible to where now people can see, it's all coming to me as I go. But just imagine a war with nothing but drones. Just come on, man. Because whoever win that drone war, can't no planes, can't no helicopters. Them things can't no guns stop no drones. How drones move? This is the description that they given of UFOs. Drones. And have you ever seen how big a drone is? Like the drones that the government or some of these other countries be having? Have you ever seen how big some of them drones is? Man, please, man. They can make a drone that's shaped like a UFO that come down and move around a certain way, and yeah, they can make a drone that'll pick your, man, come on, man. But just imagine a war going on like that in the sky with drones. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like, yeah, okay. Y'all country had the upper hand with that military, with the ships and with the plane. But with these drones, ain't no upper hand. And with the resources that they got to like for the batteries, man, come on now, man. And the speeds them things fly. That'd be something crazy, man. And you gotta think though, like, even the only drones that'd be really able to go to war, because like the smaller the drone is, right, the more capable it is, because you could put more power. You could pack more power in a smaller device opposed to you would a bigger device. I know that sound backwards. You would think like if it was bigger, it'd take more power, but hell nah. Because smaller, it can move faster, it can maneuver quicker, it could. So even if it wouldn't be no defense for that, it'd just be all offense, because now it's like, okay, y'all striking us, now we gotta strike y'all. We gotta hit y'all so many times and so hard to where whoever the hell is doing this shit, they gonna stop wherever, because you're not gonna be able to counter with your own drones that's gonna go get them. They too small. And even with the bigger drones, even with the drones, they got the UFO sized drones, right? Like if you looking at this from, if you look at like how much space it is up there in the sky, man, ain't no other drone gonna be able to catch up to that drone and take it out, man. It's not gonna be possible. It's not gonna be possible. So that's, look, we just started on 3/5 of a person. We just talked about drones, technology. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me your thoughts on this. You got some things other things you want me to talk about, we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. Let's go.